lovely viewers, welcome back to the Glow Pilates Studio channel. I'm Julia, and thanks for joining me for this 30-minute full-body Pilates mat workout. All that you need for today's class is just you and your mat, so when you're ready, roll out your mat and let's get started with a warm-up for our spine and shoulders. Come onto hands and knees, stack your shoulders over your wrists, arch your spine and look up. Round your spine and gaze towards your belly button. Inhale, arch your spine into cow back. Exhale, round your spine into cat back. Let's go for a couple more sets. Come into a neutral spine, restacking shoulders over wrists. Inhale to tuck your toes and exhale your knees 1 or 2 inches off your mat. Continue to breathe here in your short plank, plugging the belly into the spine. Hinge your hips back into downward dog, straightening your knees, and take a breath or two to feel your shoulders and hamstrings. Let's inhale back into your short plank. Hover your bent knees just off of your mat and exhale back into downward dog. Inhale to short plank. Exhale, press back to downward dog. Let's go for a couple more sets, starting to really warm up the shoulders and maybe feel a little bit more length through the backs of the legs. Pause in your downward dog for a moment and round the spine forward into your full plank. Bend your knees and then come forward into your full plank. Inhale, soften your knees, push back. Exhale, push forward to full plank. Let's go for a couple more. Be ready to hold your full plank, shoulders stacked over wrists. Add a few shifts forward and back by pointing your ankles and then flexing your heels. And really focus on your lift or protraction out of the shoulders. Beautiful job. Hinge back into your downward dog. Soften your right knee and sit into your straight left hamstring stretch. Switch, soften the left knee and feel the right leg a little bit longer. Let's do that one more time on each side. Say a deeper hello to your hamstrings, pressing away from your hands. And continue to a little faster march, checking in with your calves and ankles. Pause with your 2 heels lifted off the floor. Soften your knees down to your mat and sit back into child's pose for a breath to reset. When you feel ready, come back onto hands and knees, shoulders stacking over wrists, hips over knees. In your neutral spine, extend your right leg behind you and left arm forward. Slide your fingers and toes out to the corners of your mat and lift into the air. Let's tap down on these corners. Lift up through center, cross, and tap the opposite corners. Lift through center, uncross. Inhale to tap. Exhale, lift. Inhale, tap. Exhale, lift. Keep going, alternating corners of your mat and lifting out of your supporting shoulder as much as you can. One more tap to each corner. And pause in center, flexing your back foot. Open your arm and leg to the side and close back to center. Inhale to open and exhale to close. Just a couple more in the air. Pause in center one more time. Lower your hand and come down onto your elbows and forearms, lifting your back leg a little bit higher. Bend your back knee, flex your foot, and extend back out and point. Inhale, bend and flex. Exhale, extend and point. Let's keep going with your hamstring curls, trying your best to keep that back thigh lifted. And try to keep lifted out of your shoulders here as well, gazing to the front edge of your mat. Pause with your knee bent and heel flexed and begin to pulse this heel higher up towards the ceiling. Exhale, lift and lift and lift. Keep going. Still lifting out of your shoulders, gazing towards the front edge of your mat. And lower this knee to the floor. Pass through your child's pose on your way to standing up on your knees. Let's step a little bit wider here for balance. Reach your arms forward in front of you and inhale to lean back. Exhale, recover forward. Inhale to lean back. As you're leaning back, think of slightly tucking your tail and scooping the belly deeper into the spine. Pause in this lean back. Take a moment to flip your palms down to the floor. Pull your right elbow back and twist to the right. Switch to the left. Exhale, pull. Inhale through center. Exhale, pull. One more time to each side. And recover through center. Set your hands back down on your mat. Come onto all fours and extend your left leg behind you, right fingertips forward. Slide your fingers and toes out to the corners of your mat and lift into the air. Inhale, tap down. Exhale and over cross through center. Inhale, tap the opposite corners, and exhale, lift and cross. Keep going, alternating corners of your mat and doing your best to lift out of your supporting shoulder. This is definitely a balance challenge as well as a strength challenge for that supporting arm. Be ready to pause in center in the air. Flex your back foot and let's begin to open arm and leg to the side. Exhale, close back to center. Inhale, open. Exhale, close. Pause in center, lower your hand down to the floor and come down onto your elbows and forearms. Lift your back leg a little higher if you can. Bend that back knee, flex your foot, and extend back out. Inhale, bend and flex. Exhale, extend and point. Do your best to keep that back thigh lifting and try to lift out of both shoulders. Gaze to the front edge of your mat. Pause with your knee bent and foot flexed and begin to pulse this heel higher to the ceiling. Exhale to lift. Lower this knee to the floor, sit back through your child's pose, and come back up to standing on your knees. Once again, feel free to step wider here for balance, and let's reach those arms forward once again. Lean back into that same diagonal lean as before, and this time we're going to sit the hips back as if into chair pose, hovering above your heels. Lift the hips back into that hinge we go, and sit back into chair pose. Inhale to lift the hips. Exhale, sit back. Try your best to come as low to the heels as possible, but don't actually sit on the heels. This is your last chair pose. And recover. Well done. One more time, lower your hands and knees to the mat. Scoot your knees back or hands forward so your hips can hinge forward to a modified plank. Let's bend the elbows and press back up. Inhale to bend. Exhale, press up. Continue with your tricep presses, using parallel elbows and maintaining a neutral spine. Lower your chest all the way down onto your mat and come to a fully prone position, lying on your front. Extend your arms forward and legs behind you. Hover arms, legs, and chest just a little bit off of your mat to begin. Inhale, lift everything higher. Exhale, lower halfway down. Inhale to lift. Exhale, lower halfway down. Keep going, doing your best to lift your fingertips and toes to the same height. Let's go for one more lift. And take a moment to stack your hands, rest your forehead on top, and completely relax for a breath. Reset your straight legs and straight arms. Find your hover off the floor once again. And this time, lift one leg and the opposite arm. We switch and switch. Exhale to scissor arms and legs, as if you're swimming on your stomach. Switch and switch and switch, and lift everything higher before you lower back down, fully relaxing on your mat for a moment. Set your hands underneath your shoulders on your mat. Slide your shoulders down and back, and let's come into swan. Lift your eyes, chest, ribs, press up with your arms. Use your tricep press to lower back down. Inhale up into your swan. Only go as high as you can maintain your shoulder posture. And exhale, parallel elbows take you down. Let's go for a couple more to your own pace and range. Pause in your highest position. Tuck your toes and hover your thighs off the floor for up stretch. Smoothly hinge your hips back over your heels for downward dog. Take a moment here, and when you're ready, rise high on the toes, lower your knees to your mat, and sit up. We're going to come to a side series next, so come back down onto your mat, pick a side, and prop yourself up onto your bottom elbow. Bend both knees into tabletop, free hand on top hip, and let's begin with some simple clamshells. We will exhale to open your top knee. Inhale to close. Try to use your full range of motion without rocking your top hip back and forth. Begin to invert your clamshells using your internal and external rotation. Your top hand is on your hip for feedback, so you can tell if your top hip starts to rock back and forth. Do your best to keep everything stable except for your moving leg. Pause with this leg at hip level in its tabletop. Pick a direction and begin to make some small circles with this knee. Think of stirring a teacup with your kneecap. Reverse the direction of your single leg circles, stabilizing your top hip. And pause to straighten this leg at hip level, heel slightly behind your top hip. Exhale, lift this leg higher. Inhale, lower to hip level. Keep going. Think of reaching your back heel on your back diagonal. Pause in your lift. Point your toes, and we make those small circles again. This time your big toe is stirring that teacup. Reverse the direction. And lower this leg down. Stack 2 straight legs on your mat and extend your bottom arm. Let's exhale and lift both legs off the floor. Inhale to lower. Keep going, guiding your toes ever so slightly behind your top hip for balance. You should be feeling your glutes and your obliques lifting the legs with your exhales. Lower your legs, come up to sitting, and keep both knees bent for mermaid. Let's inhale with your arms wide. Exhale to your side bend. Inhale to recover and pull on your outside knee for your side bend. Inhale, grow tall, and go again to each side. For our final side bend in each direction, let's add a circle with the top arm as you restack through center. Same thing to the other side. Circle that top arm forward. Enjoy this stretch. And we're ready to go on to the other side with our side series. Come down onto your other elbow. Prop your head up, bend your knees to tabletop, and begin with your simple clamshells. Exhale to open your top knee and inhale to close. Begin to invert your clamshells using both external and internal rotation of your top femur. Use your top hand on your hip for feedback to make sure that top hip is not rocking back and forth, so you're isolating the rotation inside your hip socket. Bring this leg to hip level in its tabletop. Pick a direction for your single leg circles and begin to stir your teacup with your kneecap. Reverse the direction of your circles, stabilizing your top hip. Make a little pause to straighten this leg slightly behind your top hip and exhale to lift on that diagonal. Pause in your next lift, point your toes, and bring those little circles back, stirring your teacup with your big toe. Reverse the direction of your circles. Lower this leg down, stack 2 straight legs on your mat, and extend your bottom arm. Slightly sliding those toes behind your top hip, let's begin to lift both legs. Exhale to lift. Inhale to lower. I hope you're feeling your glutes and your obliques when you're lifting the legs. One more time. Lower the legs down and come up to sitting for mermaid on the other side. Let's inhale tall and exhale into your side bend. Inhale, recover, and pull on your outside knee to deepen your side bend. Again to each side. And for our final side bend in both directions, let's add that circle with your top arm. Deepen the stretch through this diagonal, and then recover. Same thing to the other direction. Enjoy this deeper stretch, and take your time to recover. We're going to transition to standing up on our knees once again. Come to standing on one knee. Extend your other leg, anchoring your foot on the floor. Bring your hands behind your head, and we're going to take this into a little oblique combination. Inhale to a side bend and twist. Exhale, unwind, and recover. Come into that side bend again. Place your bottom arm on the floor and pulse 3 times with your lifted leg. Come back up. Let's restart that. Inhale, side bend, twist, exhale to recover. Inhale, place your hand down, 3 pulses with this leg, and bring it back up. Keep going. Be ready to keep your leg lifted, flex your foot, and hinge this leg forward. Point your toes to hinge back. Inhale, heel forward. Exhale, toes back. Let's go for 2 more leg hinges, doing your very best not to dip through center. And take it into bicycle. Bend your leg forward, straighten it back. Inhale forward, exhale back. Keep talking to your bottom shoulder as the leg continues. And let's reverse those bicycles. Straight leg forward, bend and reach back. Inhale forward, exhale back. 1 more reverse bicycle. Beautiful job. Set this leg down and let's cartwheel into 1 more mermaid side bend before transitioning to the other side. Extend your other leg out onto the floor. Set your fingertips behind your head. Let's restart our combination for the obliques. All the while talking to your shoulders and making sure they're staying pressed down away from your ears. Here comes your final repetition. And be ready to keep your lifted leg in the air. Flex your foot and begin those leg hinges. Inhale, heel reaches forward. Exhale, toes reach back. Forward and back. Do your best to keep this leg from dipping in center. And take it into your bicycle. Bend the leg forward. Exhale, reach the leg back. Keep talking to your bottom shoulder. And let's reverse your bicycles. Inhale, straight leg forward, and exhale, pedal back. Just a couple more, nearly there. And set this foot down, cartwheel into a well-deserved mermaid stretch. Circle that top arm forward once again. And bring this leg in. Beautiful job. That is not an easy series. Let's transition into our final portion of today's class. We're going to come down to the floor for a short abdominal series. Go ahead and take a seat and roll all the way down onto your back on your mat. Allow the head and shoulders to stay down on the floor as your legs come into tabletop. And with your exhale, reach your legs forward on a diagonal. Inhale, bend the knees back in. Exhale, extend forward on the diagonal. Inhale to bend. Do your best to avoid arching your low back here. Try to maintain your neutral spine. Make a little pause in tabletop. Interlace your fingertips behind your head. Add in an upper body curl to those diagonals. Exhale, curl up and reach the legs long. Inhale to return. Ready to hold this next diagonal and just bend the right knee. Extend. Inhale, bend the left. Exhale, extend. Keep going, alternating legs, maintaining your highest upper body curl. Let's continue twisting towards each bent knee for crisscross. Exhale, switch. Exhale, switch. Keep going, reaching your sternum towards each thigh rather than elbow to knee. One more time to each side. And hug your knees to your chest. Lower your head just for a moment. Come back into your head curl. Reach your legs forward and arms overhead. Circle the arms, hug the knees in. Inhale, straighten arms and legs. Exhale, knees to chest. Just a couple more sets. Hug your knees, lower the head just for an inhale. One final time, curl your upper body forward. Reach your arms and legs long. Begin to pump the arms. Inhale for 5 pumps. Exhale for 5 pumps, reaching your arms and legs as long as possible. Just one more breath cycle. And hug your knees to your chest. Relax, rock and roll up to sitting. Let's finish off our class with a stretchy spine twist. Extend your left leg forward. Hook your right ankle over the left knee. And hug this knee to your chest with your opposite elbow. Reach your right arm behind you. Prop yourself up tall with your fingertips. And try to look over that right shoulder as far as you can. When you're ready to deepen this twist, use leverage from your left elbow on the outside of your right knee. Let's take a couple more breaths in this twist. Exhale to unwind and switch to the other side. Let's begin by hugging your left knee to your chest with your opposite arm. Prop yourself up tall on your back fingertips and see how far you can look over that left shoulder. When you feel ready to deepen the twist of your spine, switch your right elbow to the outside of your left knee and use leverage from arm into leg. When you're ready, exhale to unwind. Extend two legs in front of you and let's fold forward over your straight legs for our final few breaths in a spine and hamstring stretch. Maybe use your arms to help pull your chest closer to your thighs. And when you feel ready, round it up to sitting. Thank you so much for joining me for this class. I hope you feel longer, taller, and stronger for the rest of your day. Please consider subscribing to this channel and giving this video a like if you haven't already. And I hope to see you next time. Have a beautiful rest of your day.